Gridiron Grinder! Hut hut hike!
Boom. Party, people. It is Thursday night, Gridiron Grinder time. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, is my buddy James. Just a couple of dudes hanging out, talking about what's going on in the NFL each week. And so, yeah, how's it going tonight in sunny California, James?
It's not that sunny,
Oh,
but
but is it
you
negative
know,
degree weather?
no. Speaking of weather, you heard like so sidetrack a little bit. NHL has their stadium series where they're playing at this week on Saturday at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. It was supposed to be below freezing
Oh, yeah, I
and
heard about
snow
that.
flurries. Now it's going to be 38 at the start of the game and possible snow. It's like could could the NHL have gotten luckier with that? But I digress.
Yes. Yeah. So why don't you give us a rundown on what we're going to be doing tonight? You're probably going to rub it in my face about winning the playoff bet, but aside from that,
Yeah, so I won the playoff bet. Let's just start there. You ended up
maybe getting a
switching,
little too aggressive.
maybe getting a little too aggressive. You maybe should have stuck with your original picks.
Yes. Well,
Well,
I got spicy with Denver, and as soon as they lost, I was kind of forced to flip to the
yeah,
Rams. And then obviously the hole just got deeper and deeper until there
yeah.
was no way to climb out. So,
So I won that. I'll probably be selecting my whiskey this weekend. I'm hoping to. Um,
and I did
Next week,
send you the funds just to
yeah,
confirm, okay, that you got it. All right.
I'll check with Tori. I forgot to ask her, but
Sure.
I'm sure you did. Um,
Yes.
so that's a plus. So this week, kind of we're going to go over a little bit of the recap of the games this weekend, do our early Super Bowl preview. I have some interesting tidbits to throw in there.
Sure.
Kind of discuss the Hall of Fame with the news this week of Belichick not getting in, and so you put the finalists who we think should be in on the finalists, who we think is kind of probably shouldn't be in, and then the NFL honors, which is next Thursday.
Okay.
Kind of run down the finalists, who we think is going to win. I think glancing at it, there's a couple obvious ones, and there's a couple like, well, you could make an argument for a couple of the players, a couple of the people listed. So, but that's our little rundown this week. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the, let's go to the Hall of Fame.
With Belichick,
Yeah, so Belichick didn't get in.
snub of all snubs, in my opinion.
Snub of all snubs. I agree with you there. I'm looking for.
It'd be like Brady not getting in first ballot.
Yeah. So you needed 80% of the vote to get in. And so there were five people. This is how the NFL does it. They have their senior committee and then they have their modern era players. So on the senior committee, there's five people listed. Three senior players, which was Kenny Anderson, Roger Craig, and LC Greenwood. One coach, which was Belichick, and one contributor, which was Robert Kraft.
Okay.
So how it is with this group of people, one of this group must get in. Maximum of three can get in. So the voters could only put three of these players on the ballot.
Okay.
And so Belichick, we don't know the number. We don't know how far short he was. He didn't get the required 40 votes to get in.
Yeah.
Which is confusing
Yeah, I mean, I mean, what do you maybe argue that, Don Shula's like maybe the only other coach better just because he had more wins overall or what? I mean, and even
Yeah,
then, I
so
mean,
so in my opinion, Belichick is.
Spygate, do you think that came into play at all?
Hold on, 1 second.
Sure. Do you want me to put
This
us
is
on pause?
this is garbage, sweetie. Go what else for mommy, okay, sweetie? Okay. I just want you to like it. I do like it. Thank you. Bye. Bye. So there's speculation, Spygate, Deflategate. He was surly with the media. Which,
Okay, whatever. He's not the only coach to be,
yeah,
a fucking grisly presence,
which is all bullshit in my opinion.
Yeah, the
Also,
results speak for themselves.
not putting him in, and I wanted to look up this list, but not putting him in this year on the first ballot means some coaches that probably should be Hall of Famers are going to have to wait another year because only maximum of one coach can get in per year.
Okay. And so you think next year he gets in, which pushes the rest of the pile down?
Yeah. So coaches that aren't in the Hall of Fame, Mike Shanahan, who I think should be in the Hall of Fame.
Not over Belichick, but yep.
Not over Belichick, but he's been waiting how long for it? Dan Reeves, Chuck Knox, like there's coaches like this are just going to have to be pushed down the road. Like
Yeah.
you got to clear the way because Belichick is obviously going to be a finalist next year in this category.
Yeah, I guess to me it's like it's just a suspicious thing. It's almost like there needs to be some kind of thing that if there's like some suspected kind of foul play or whatever, there's got to be like some kind of like appeal or review, because to me it's just too obvious to deny him. And I was thinking about it earlier, which I know that this is kind of like a grim, stupid thing, but I'm like, he's not like some spring chicken. What if the dude had like a fucking heart attack this summer? And, it's like he's alive right now and should have gotten in, and like it just, I don't know. To me, it's like it's just so insulting. And I don't know. It's like it would be a real shame if he didn't get to bask in the glory of being in the Hall of Fame after everything he's done for the fucking NFL, man.
Well, like people have come out, like Jimmy Johnson said he was going to go to the ceremony, but now it's just a sham.
Yeah. It just seems like it's fucking rigged in a weird way, man.
Yeah, and the only thing I can come back to that I can think of snubs like this, and it's not on the scale, is T.O. not getting in on first ballot. When he retired, he was no. I don't even think is T.O. even in the Hall of Fame?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't. I was just thinking of that. Like, I don't know if he's even in the Hall of Fame, but like, so with T.O., like his thing was like the reason why people didn't vote for him. No, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, the whole thing is off, man.
Oh no, he is. He was voted his third year.
Okay.
He skipped the ceremony. So like the thing with his initial year, the reason why people cited that they didn't vote for him first ballot was because they like people were saying that he was an ass in the locker room. And the Hall of Fame said, well, the locker room is an extension of the field. So they considered that.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that's bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah. If you're one of the best at your position all time, Suck it up, Buttercup.
Well, yeah, exactly. So he retired. He was number 3 statistically as a wide receiver. Like, how is that not an instant Hall of Famer? And what are they going to do? Is it in 2 years when Brady's eligible, or is it next year Brady's eligible? But 2 years, whenever Brady's eligible, are they going to make him sit a year because of the Deflategate or like did they vote Robert Kraft in this year, which Robert Kraft benefited from Belichick?
And Robert Kraft's not without off-field issues either.
Yeah.
His version of them. Oh, but it's okay because what? He's an owner? Like, I don't know, man. The whole thing is, it's like, it just to me is like, you need to fucking explain yourselves when it's something this egregious. It's not like you had 2 players with nearly identical stats and you had to fucking pick one and it was like by a hair, one got the edge. This is like the most decorated coach all time, minus, like I said, maybe Don Shula, just because he's got the overall most wins and the full true undefeated season. But it's like, come on, man. You cannot question the amount of fucking Super Bowls, and you want to say, oh, that it's all Brady. Well, dude, I don't think you can say it was all Brady. You know, it's like, yeah, was Brady a big part of it? Sure. But, you know, it's a whole huge fucking team to do it that many times. Come on, man. Give the guy his due.
Yeah, give him his due. Like he's like, if you go down his career winning percentage, his Super Bowls appearances, his number of wins, his playoff record, his playoff wins, like all this stuff, like statistically, he's either number 1 or number 2 all time as a head coach. He's probably, if not the best, one of the best coaches in any sport in the last 60 years.
Yep.
Like, how is he not a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, it's tainted, dude. It is now tainted in my mind.
No, it is.
Where else you want to go with it? Or do you want to just
kind of have
this hill?
I'll get off the Belichick hill, go to the modern era players, where up to 5 of these players can be selected for the Hall of Fame, and I see probably 7 that probably deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So I'm just going to run down the list, and you stop me when you. It'll be obvious which ones should be in the Hall of Fame. So you have Willie Anderson, tackle, who played for Cincinnati and the Bengals in mid 90s to 2008. Drew Brees, quarterback. Jari Evans, guard for the Saints in 2006 to 2016, Packers in 2017. Larry Fitzgerald, wide receiver for the Cardinals from 2004 to 2020.
Yep.
Frank Gore, running back for 7 teams. Torrey Holt, wide receiver for the Rams, 99 to 2008, and Jacksonville 2000 and 2009. Luke Kuechly, linebacker for the Panthers, 12 to 19.
A little bit of a shorter career, but still very hard to argue. He was like the best, or one of the top 2 his entire time in the league.
Mm-hmm. Eli Manning, 2004 to 2019, quarterback for the Giants.
One, huh?
Terrell Suggs, outside linebacker, defensive end for the Ravens.
It's fucking stacked.
2003 to 2018, Arizona Cardinals in 19, Chiefs in 19. Adam Vinatieri, probably the most clutch kicker in NFL history.
All time. Yeah.
96 to 2005 with the Patriots, 2006 to 19 with the Colts. Reggie Wayne, wide receiver for the Colts from 2001 to 2014. Kevin Williams, defensive tackle for the Vikings from 03 to 13, Seattle in 14, Saints in 15. Jason Witten, tight end.
Dude.
Darren Woodson, and Marshall Yanda, guard tackle for the Ravens from 2007 to 2019. How do you pick only 5 of these players?
That's a fucking stacked set, dude.
And this is narrowed down to these players.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing. It's like, I don't know. It does seem like there should be like some variability to the number of players that can get in any given year.
Yeah.
To allow for like a bulge like this, and it should go the other way where there needs to be some kind of like a committee that says, this year, the pool of candidates is a little weaker, and so we're going to tighten it or whatever. But, it goes back to kind of what I'm saying is that like eventually some of these dudes are going to start going the way of the dinosaur, and they're never going to have gotten their due.
Yeah. So, and that's what the senior committee is for, to try to pick those people out that didn't get their due. But so in like 2021 was the 100th season, whatever year was the 100th season, they had a surge of Hall of Famers. It was like 20 people got in that year, and the Hall of Fame was like, whoa, wait a minute, that's too many people. And so they cut it down to a maximum of 8 people, 5 people of the modern era, 3 people composed of coaches, contributors, and senior players.
Okay.
So there were 52 people that were then cut down to 26, that then were cut down to 15 on the modern era. I think of those players, Willie Anderson, just at a minimum, Willie Anderson, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Frank Gore, Torrey Holt, Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Jason Witten, and Darren Woodson. Just those 10 players alone had careers worthy of had Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I don't envy the committee that had to vote for these players.
Yeah. And somehow Belichick doesn't get in. It's totally fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't get the most obvious one of maybe all time ever right, how are you going to get these ones right?
Well, like, for instance, how is Torrey Holt? Let's just start with Torrey Holt. How is Torrey Holt not a Hall of Famer? How is Reggie Wayne not already a Hall of Famer? How is Woodson not already a Hall of Famer?
I don't know, my man. I don't know.
And like, that's just like kind of like off the beat. Like, this is Drew Brees' first year of eligibility. I think it's Manning's second, Suggs' second. But Vinatieri, it's only his second year. But
yeah,
it's like, and then as we go forward, like, a lot of these players are going to get left behind because it's just more. It's becoming more and more stacked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's messed up.
I think they just need to do like a 1 year. Let's put 20 players in and kind of clear some of this backlog. Yeah. Will they do that?
No.
Probably not.
No, I mean, yeah, it's similar to what I'm saying. Just have like a bulge year where you say, we're recognizing that there was, like just a lot of people with exceptional performance in the league that need to be recognized. And it's not always going to be like that, but we're going to open it up for 1 year to let a few more in or whatever. But, but yeah, they probably won't because, they didn't let Belichick in. So they're D-bags, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge Belichick fan, but it's just the fact that it's like such an obvious thing. It just blows my mind.
So his his candidacy should exactly be this. The person that has to present him to the committee walks up there, gets in front of him, and says, Bill Belichick, sits his ass down. Like, that's all you need to know. I'm presenting Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
It should just be like an automatic thing.
Yeah. Oh, this is the first ever guarantee. Brady will be the second. You know, it's like, come on, man. Oh.
All right. So we had like 8 minutes. We can kick through some of the awards. Obviously, we're going to start with the most valuable player. I think it's really down to two of these have a legitimate shot.
Okay.
So the 5 finalists are Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, and it's between Stafford and May.
Yeah, there's no way McCaffrey had a good season.
Yeah.
He didn't do what May and Stafford did. Trevor Lawrence had a good season. He didn't do what May and Stafford did. Josh Allen had a decent season. Again, like I think Josh Allen maybe had the worst season of the 5.
Yeah, I guess I have a hard time. So, you know, it's like statistically Stafford is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But do you put some weight with Drake May on? You took over, you know, you're going into year 2 and with a totally underpowered team and somehow rock out 14 fucking wins. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
do you give him credit for that to make up for the difference in stats?
So, my initial thought on it would be yes.
Okay.
That was my initial thought on it. So, but the issue I have with it, like when you kind of dive into it, and I'm looking for. So, New England's strength of schedule, 0.391.
Yeah, one of the weaker ones.
The Rams, 0.526.
Yeah.
I think the strength of schedule and the stats combined to give Stafford.
Sure. Now, do you compare weapons and say, well, Stafford's got 2 number 1 receivers. May doesn't have a number 1 receiver at all.
Wow, it's actually closer in stats than I thought.
Okay.
It's a lot closer in stats than I thought, looking at it. So yards, Stafford had 4707, where May had 4394. Touchdowns, Stafford had 46, May had 31, and they both had equal interceptions. They both had equal interceptions.
What about the rushing yards for May? Because I'm sure he put up solid rushing yards.
Ooh.
And, you know, Stafford had none.
Yeah, rushing yards for May. May had rushing 2025.
And it'd be the same, like how many rushing touchdowns to stack on to bring that touchdown disparity
4.
a little closer.
He only had 4.
Okay. So, I mean, Stafford's smoking him on touchdowns.
Stafford's smoking him on touchdowns. They're about equal on total yards. They're equal on interceptions.
Yeah. Which people would give the edge to Stafford because of the touchdown to interception ratio. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And I think Stafford just slightly, I think the strength of schedule just gives it to Stafford. Like,
yeah,
strength of schedule and strength of victory. So the Rams' strength of victory was 0.485, while the Patriots was 0.37.
Okay.
Strength of victory is the winning percentage, combined winning percentage of the teams you beat, versus strength of schedule is the combined winning percentage of teams you play.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see it go to Drake May just because, I've got sensitivity with Stafford, but I think between the two, I'm fine with Stafford getting it, man.
Yeah.
If it happens that way.
Yeah. And then we have 3 minutes. Defensive player of the year. It's an easy one. I'll go through the finalists and you'll know which one's the easy one to pick. Will Anderson Jr. from the defensive end from the Texans. Nick Bonito, linebacker from the Broncos. Myles Garrett, defensive end for the Browns. Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end for the Lions. And Micah Parsons, defensive end for Green Bay.
Yeah, this one's obvious. It's Myles Garrett, hands down.
Yeah, it's Myles Garrett, hands down. I mean, setting the sack record and what he did on such a poor team.
Yeah, and nobody else was even close to him statistically on that list.
Yeah, exactly. So that, I mean, those are two. And then we have offensive player of the year. This is an interesting one to me. So you have Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson, and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
You can make an argument for all 5 of these players.
Yeah, at first I thought, okay, if Stafford got MVP, it'd be nice to see Drake May get this, right? But then I look at it and I'm like, man, how does Jackson Smith and Jigba not get it when he had a near record receiving year on like the most run heavy team in the league?
Exactly.
It's just insane, dude. It's just insane. He is open all the fucking time.
Yeah. So, like, I think when I look at the list, I think it's really down to May, McCaffrey, or Njigba. Njigba had a better season than Nacua. McCaffrey had a better season than Bijan.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't. I think it's JSN or Drake May. I think McCaffrey had a good year, but it wasn't like some, like near record breaking year.
Yeah, and historically, the most MVP goes to a quarterback, and the offensive player of the year goes to a running back or a wide receiver.
Okay.
It's just from what I remember. I believe it's got to be in Njigba. I can't make a true argument for May because of how it historically goes.
Okay.
And then we have 1 minute, so we probably should take our 10-minute, and then we'll come back with Offensive Rookie of the Year, presented by EA Sports, Madden NFL.
All right. Well, thanks for the plug. I'll talk to you in 10, man.
All right, sounds good.
We're back.
We're back. And the little plug was, maybe somebody from EA watches us and they want to throw us some coin.
Oh, or the algorithm hooks us up and we get like 10 million fucking views.
Yeah. So anyways, AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. This list, there's 2 people on this list that don't fucking make sense. The other 3 you could probably make an argument for.
Okay.
Quarterback for the New York Giants, Jackson Dart. Wide receiver for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Emeka Egbuka. Running back for the New England Patriots, Travion Henderson. Wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, Teteora McMillan. Quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, Tyler Shutt. What the fuck are the quarterbacks on this list for? Didn't Shutt win 2 games and Dart won 0?
I think that first of all, I think Jackson Dart played some inspiring football on a garbage team. And then I think Show, as the year went on, did enough that people are saying he will be the incumbent for next year, and they may not make a big move because they think that an off season with him and Kellen Moore will have him be like middle of the road or better next year across the league. And so I kind of get some of that, but I guess for me, it's just, I don't know. I mean, Emeka Ibuka started off the year like crazy, crazy amazing. Like I think for him, he was like a shoe in to win this, and then things changed like drastically. But and so I don't really know. McMillan had a great year in Carolina. I don't know. Like it looks like he's the favor to win it, but I personally am just saying I would have a hard time picking this.
All right. So just looking at statistically, McMillan had 70 more yards than Emeka Ibuka and one more touchdown.
Okay.
And then and I think, and I want to double check his stats before I fully go all in on this.
Sure.
I think it's Travion Henderson's to lose. He had 911 yards rushing, 221 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns.
And he was on special teams too.
And he was on special teams. Averaged 209 yards returns. But I think it's Travion Henderson's to lose.
Okay.
Like I think he's the favorite going in for offensive rookie of the year. I think McMillan or Ibuka would be second. Like I can make the argument either way. I think McMillan had more of a consistent season where Ibuka kind of lit it up at times and kind of faded at times. So I think I would
he
go.
Started off looking like a top 3 receiver in the league.
Yeah.
and then just kind of disappeared for a little while. All right, I got you.
So, but I think I would go. I think here it's either McMillan or Henderson.
I'd probably go McMillan over Henderson, in my opinion. But if it's between the two, just saying.
And then AP Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Abdul Carter, linebacker for the Giants. Nick Emmanuel, DB for the Seahawks.
Yeah, kind of like jack of all trades for the Seahawks. But yeah you got to put a label on it.
James Pierce, defensive end for the Falcons. Carson Schlesinger, linebacker for the Browns. And Xavier Watts, safety for the Falcons. That's a hard one.
I think for me it's between Schlesinger and Amon Worry. And
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I think NFL Network is favoring Schlesinger in this, but I would personally probably favor Amon Worry. I think that he has been a chess piece for arguably the best defense in the league.
Exactly.
Which is asking a rookie to do a lot.
No, I agree. I don't have that much of an argument. Like if I narrowed it down, like I think the Falcons, they kind of cancel each other out. And Abdul Carter, like I don't remember hearing. Like I was like, my first thought was when I read Abdul Carter, my first thought was like, did he even do anything this year?
I mean, Brian Burns obviously gets all the attention with the Giants off the edge.
He was sad at times.
Yeah, and then he was kind of rotating with Thibodeau, right? And so it's like, I don't know. I think he had a good year, and I've been hearing that he's getting hyped up big time for what can he do next year, but yeah, I don't think he touches. And then like Schlesinger was like a fucking goddamn tackling machine as a fucking rookie, man. And so, like I said, to me, it's obvious between either him or Amon Worry. I just personally would take Amon Worry.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. Like I didn't dive into their stats, but I think you're right. I think Amon Worry was more pivotal to the Seahawks defense than Schlesinger was with the Browns, especially because like Schlesinger got a little bit of boost because of how dominant Myles Garrett is.
Yeah, and and he had. I mean, it's not. I guess you could say the same thing a little bit with Amon Worry. With where I was going to go is that he had Schwartz as his defensive coordinator, guiding him, right?
Mhm.
But I don't want to. I don't want to say that to take it away from him. Like I don't think that's fair to him, right? So
Yeah, no, 100%, 100% not fair to him because like you have the guidance and then you have actually taking that guidance and doing it
yeah,
on the field.
because obviously Amon Worry had it with Mike McDonald, right? So it's like,
Hmm.
well, but you still got to go in there and play the position, or in his case, like three positions.
Hmm.
uh, yeah.
All right, then we have the category that I'm a little biased on, but it's AP Comeback Player of the Year.
Okay. Biased
So
because you're a Lions fan.
exactly. So you have Stephon Diggs, wide receiver for the Patriots. I forget what injury he came back from.
I don't know why he's even on the list. It's not like he had some fucking monumental
Yeah.
season.
Hutch from the Lions, Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars quarterback, Christian McCaffrey, running back for the 49ers, and Dak Prescott, quarterback for the Cowboys. First of all, Dak Prescott, Stephon Diggs don't even belong on this list.
I agree, 100%.
McCaffrey,
I would maybe throw a little something to Trevor Lawrence just because of how bad he was
yeah,
up until this year with Liam Cohen.
no,
And really his train took off like halfway through the year this year too. He was doing all right, they were winning, but he really came on in like the last 6, 7, however many weeks, right? So,
mhm.
but yeah, keep going, man.
I think I think on this like McCaffrey, I have issues giving it to McCaffrey. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that effective as a runner this year. And
Exactly.
I get it as a receiver, he lit it up, but to me, it just seemed like, man, they could not get the running game going for shit all year.
Hmm. And they couldn't get the running game going for shit. Like they're he yeah, it was receiver. He did great, but he's a running back and he did nothing.
Yeah.
So that really boils down to Hutch and Lawrence. And
I don't want to knock Hutch, but I am going to say it did bother me that he was outpaced in sacks by what's his name, Muhammad, until like the
mhm.
very end of the year. So,
No, exactly. Like, but
but yeah, but he was also probably being double teamed way more often than his counterpart. And coming off of a fucking gruesome fucking injury. So it's all right. I guess it's tough, right? Like for me to pick because I know I'm biased, and so like I guess that's where like I feel like it's almost like I feel like I need to give a little boost to fucking Trevor Lawrence or something, right? So
so I'm trying to remember. Like, is Trevor Lawrence just on this list because he
just
was
because he sucked.
because he sucked, or
I think he's on the list just because he was starting to get the bust label, even though he already got the big contract. And he might have had some injury, but it was not a fucking Hutch kind of injury if he had one.
so he had an AC joint sprain in 24, which he sat 2 weeks, and then he got a concussion. Like I'm biased towards Hutch, but
It's all right.
so with Hutch, what I look at is the season he was having last year and how gruesome that was an injury was, and and to come back and half that
Yeah.
approximately this year, versus Lawrence, who had a concussion, who played most of the year last year, but had a
Just
phenomenal
kind of
year.
sucked. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, I got you.
So, and that's where I'm torn. I think, like, while I would want to see Hutch win it, I think I have to give the nod to Lawrence. If Hutch had a better season, if he had three quarters of what he was on pace for last year, then I might lean more towards Hutch on it. But I think I gotta go with Lawrence on it.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, I guess my defense for Hutch, just because I got to give it the other way, and I didn't do that yet, is that you're comparing a serious injury to just sucking at your position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, to me, it's almost like
Well, no,
it's like
he
with
no. To be
Lawrence.
fair, he Lawrence was on the IR the last month of the season
Sure,
with a
sure,
concussion.
yeah, but okay. I'm just saying. I think that Lawrence isn't getting it for coming back from some crazy injury. He's getting it just because he figured out how to not suck.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
I think
so I guess based on that, to me, I think the comeback thing is I would put weight on, overcoming the injury more,
yeah,
but it's the
that's
bias
true.
factor, right? So, you know,
That's true. And like with Lawrence, like
and it's not like Geno Smith, who was like a backup for like 7 years and then all of a sudden just steps in and has like a fucking 75% completion percentage. And it's like, oh my God, he's not coming off an injury. He just like came off the bench from the dead and became like a fucking top 15 quarterback.
no, exactly. I'm torn on it because like I hear your argument with Hutch. I think I'm going Lawrence more because I don't want to let the bias towards Hutch
Sure.
sway me.
That's how I was, and that's fine.
All right. Then we have AP Coach of the Year.
Yes.
Liam Cohen of the Jaguars, Ben Johnson of the Bears, Mike McDonald of the Seahawks, Kyle Shanahan of the 49ers, Mike Vrabel of the Patriots.
I I mean, my gut is Vrabel, but it's like, how do you pick from this group, dude?
Yeah. My gut is so my initial thought is like it's basically down to Shanahan and Vrabel because all the injuries in San Francisco and
Oh yeah, Shanahan pulled a miracle. Yeah.
somehow they had that season. Vrabel, the knock on Vrabel is that everyone's saying, well, he took a 4-13 team to this from last year, same players to the Super Bowl. But
Well,
you look at
no, they did spend big in
they
free
spent
agency,
big in free agency.
and Drake
Got
May
the
took a
players
big jump from 1 to 2.
uh-huh.
So yeah, I agree with you. There's more to the story than just the record difference.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think I lean more towards Shanahan because just specifically because of all the injuries that San Francisco had and how the regular season because it's a regular season award, not does not
that's
include the
true.
playoffs.
Yeah.
And
And
if
they
you
were
look at
in
the
it for
regular
and they were
season,
in it for the number one seed until the last game.
yeah, losing the last game of the year, like what was it, 13-10?
Yeah, I would probably have to based off all that, I would probably have to say Shanahan would get my vote if
Yeah,
my vote mattered for anything.
I think that's where like you could make an argument for Cohen, you could make a little bit of an argument for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, and Mike McDonald had a phenomenal year too, I think. But it's
Yeah,
just,
but
yeah,
it's just the
they didn't
injuries.
have the adversity that Shanahan had.
Yeah, exactly. Then we have assistant coach of the year. Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator for the Eagles. Brian Flores, defensive coordinator for the Vikings. Vance Joseph, defensive coordinator for the Broncos. Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. Josh McDaniel, offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm a little confused how Fangio got on the list
Me too.
because, in past years, I would have said, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, Vic Fangio's a badass. But the Eagles defense left something to be desired this year.
Exactly. The Eagles defense left something to be desired. I can make a little bit of an argument for Flores, but probably not as wholehearted.
No,
Because
Flores was
the
more
thing
last year. You
Flores was more last year, but this year it was basically Flores' defense that got them what 7 wins.
Yeah. I mean, out of these guys, I get it. NFL Network is like leaning Clint Kubiak. I'd probably go Vance Joseph, man. They
Yeah,
had
I lean
60 fucking something sacks.
68 sacks.
That's crazy.
68
That's
sacks.
crazy, James.
No, exactly.
Oh,
Second most sacks, def- team sacks in the history of the NFL, only surpassed by like 4
how could you
by the
not get
Chicago
him?
85
Yeah,
Bears.
that
Vance
that's
Joseph had a phenomenal year coaching.
that's a guarantee fucking win to me, man.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, and he's on the NFL thing. He's fourth in votes. I'm like, what? What? How?
That that
How?
makes no fucking sense
No
to me.
respect, dude. No respect. Okay, so we're both good on Vance Joseph for that one.
Yep. Alrighty. These games
Yes.
this past weekend. What did you think of these games this past weekend?
I think that first of all, we talked about it the week before. I think we're having a great fucking playoff.
Hmm.
A lot of fucking amazing games. I think that it was a bummer that Bo Nix was out for Denver, and maybe that would have changed things a little bit. But you know, I thought Denver had a chance, and it was questionable in the first half when they went for it on that fourth down, when they could have kicked the field goal to go up by 10. I thought
Hmm.
for me, when you know it's going to be a defensive battle, or at least you're hoping it's going to be a defensive battle, take the points. And I get it. Sean Payton wanted to be risky and get that second touchdown. It backfired. And I don't know. I guess the other part of it to me is like, don't go for it on fourth down when you know you're in a defensive battle. It's like that's
Well,
like the
that
worst time to do it.
so here's the thing: if Bo Nix was playing quarterback, I would have been, I would have felt better about going for it on fourth down.
Sure. Yeah.
With Sidham and at quarterback, also knowing you had to have known, you had to have seen the weather report that it was supposed to snow
Yeah.
after the half. You
Yeah.
had to have known that the conditions were going to get very sloppy, which was going to cause a lot more grief in the game.
Hmm.
You kick the field goal, you go up 10. I think that play, that decision is what lost the game for the Broncos,
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
which is hard to say about Sean Payton because he's normally really buttoned up and makes the right call at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think something got in his head. Maybe thinking, hey, it's because we got Stidham and not Bo Nix. I'm going to go for it while I have the chance to go for it because we may not get into this kind of field position again. I don't know. I don't know what was going through his head, but it was weird because, yeah, and I understand he is one of the riskier coaches, but it just,
Mhm.
he's
But
also
he
one of the smarter coaches than to make that mistake, in my opinion.
exactly, and he is one of the riskier coaches. I will give you that, but he's not. It's a calculated risk that he
Yeah.
makes, and you can defend. You like it's. I haven't seen him make a decision like this where it almost feels indefensible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Um,
miss I miss probably after the field goal in the third quarter. I probably missed the entire fourth quarter. I fell asleep.
it does, I will say this, it does make me nervous with the Patriots going into the Super Bowl that, will they be able to score points
Hmm.
against Seattle?
Will they be
Because
able to score points?
offensively they have been anemic in the playoffs. And you know, the biggest game, if Drake May's having nerves and issues putting it together up to this point, I don't see how all of a sudden he's just going to settle in and be comfortable in the fucking Super Bowl. And so, but I'm not saying that it's not going to happen because their defense has been one of the best defenses ever in the playoffs. They're allowing something like 200 total fucking yards, man. It's like a game. It's crazy, dude. And so, So, they're not out of it. It's something that is a concern, right?
That's a
Um,
concern. Another concern is Drake May injured his throwing shoulder
okay.
in the game.
Yeah. And they get the extra week off, but it's the throwing shoulder, not the non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah, he was listed as limited on Wednesday and Thursday. Um, and he hurt his throwing shoulder in the third quarter of the game.
Okay.
We'll see how it progresses, but I agree with you. The way the Patriots have been playing, their offense has not been very good this postseason, which is concerning which is a little concerning.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, it's a little concerning, but they also played better defenses.
It's
And they were
true.
able to put up
That's
28
true.
points against the Texans, which is a really good defense. They beat the Broncos, which is a really good defense. The Chargers had a pretty good defense this year.
I don't
So,
want
I
to go
mean,
crazy about the
that's
Texans though, because CJ Stroud gave that
they
game
won
away.
and because of their defense. Yeah.
All right, let's flip
Another,
to the Rams
another
and
side
Seahawks.
concern about the
Sure.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Another side concern about the Patriots is no starting quarterback has won the Super Bowl with less than 5 letters in their last name.
Okay. Yeah, because I believe in voodoo magic like that. Yeah.
Of course, if you go back to the history of quarterbacks that started in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
there's
How many of
only
them? Yeah.
there's only one quarterback that had 4 letters in his last name.
Bart Starr.
No, Bart Starr has 5
Oh
because there were
shit! Yeah,
2
because of the
R's.
2 R's. Yeah. Oh.
And Bart Starr won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was thinking. I'm like, wait, didn't he win it?
There's a bunch
Yeah.
with 5. Star,
Where do you get this shit, James?
Sims,
Oh my gosh. Oh, Sims. Oh, because 2 M's. Yeah.
2 M's,
Yeah.
Favre, Elway,
Oh my
Brady,
gosh.
Brady,
Yeah.
Brady,
What is this on like some betting
Breeze,
website or something, James?
Breeze,
Dude, this is crazy.
Foles,
Foles, yeah,
Foles,
Foles, he's the magician.
Hurts. And I'm sorry, there's been 2 quarterbacks to start the Super Bowl with 4 letters in their last name. 3
Okay,
quarterbacks. Oh, there's more than I thought. So you had Jared Goff,
okay,
you had Matt Ryan,
okay.
and then before Matt Ryan, you have to go all the way back to Super Bowl 4 with Joe Cap.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, now we can move on to the Seahawks Rams game.
Crazy son of a bitch. All right.
I told you
I
I
thought it
got
was a
some
great
good.
game.
I
I thought
told
it
you
was a
I have
great
some
game.
good stats coming in for this Super Bowl.
I like that you were prepared for this, James, because I didn't do a lot of homework today. I'll just be honest with you. But yeah, the Rams Seahawks game I thought was another great fucking playoff game. Um, I thought that man, I'm trying to remember what I thought the turning point was for the Rams.
All right, the
It's evading me right now. Yeah, go ahead, man.
turning point for the Rams. It was in the beginning of the third quarter after the Seahawks' first possession. Um, the the Rams stopped the Seahawks, 5 plays, punt, and they muffed the punt, and Seattle scored on the next play, going up 24-23. That was the turning point in the game where the Rams were behind the 8 ball. I think there were a couple questionable play calls by McVay. The one that I want to specifically point to was going for it on 4th and 4 at the
Yeah,
Seattle 6.
too many people have been going for it on fourth down this year.
Yeah.
Way
You
too
kick
many
the
people.
you kick the field goal there, and you have a chance to get the ball back. You could either do an onside kick, or 4.5 minutes left. You ended up stopping the Seahawks, but the Rams defense couldn't stop shit.
Yeah.
And then the timeout management. The timeout management was questionable.
Yeah.
So there was a play, and it was a first down. I forget exactly where. I think it was early in the fourth quarter. What did they call? When did they call their first timeout in the
Yeah, and while you're looking that up, man, I will say it did bother me when they talked in the pregame about the speech that McVay gave to the Rams in the locker room before the game. How he was like basically saying everyone's afraid to come in and play the Seahawks in Seattle. Just be courageous. It was like almost like, why are you saying it that way? Why are you saying that it's like some fucking difficult task and that you guys need to be brave to fucking win this game? To me, it's like you should be like, we're here for their fucking blood. Like fuck these motherfuckers. They're not better than we are. We need to go out and fucking prove it. Don't go in like you're the underdog and you got to fight up. Like to me, that was a weird pre-game speech, man.
No, that is a weird pregame speech. I can't find their first time out, but they called their first time out weirdly early in the fourth quarter.
I was gonna say I remember it being too early, but
Yeah.
shit happens, I guess. Sometimes you just got to do it. But yeah,
And then here it is. It was after. Okay, it was the first time. It was with 3:31. Then what they did is they called timeout on the 7-yard pass play from Darnold to Cup. What he should have done was he should have thrown the challenge flag instead of calling timeout. Because
yes,
I think
that's
there was
what
a
it was.
chance.
Yeah,
There was a chance that play could have been overturned. If
yeah,
after calling the timeout he challenged the play, he would have lost. He would have lost his last timeout.
yeah. That was weird, right? I agree with you on that. That was the. It was like, did it happen so fast that he just didn't think about it that way, or what went on? But yeah,
Yeah, and so like it's just that was weird, and it's just like the clock management and the timeout management. Like if you're gonna call timeout, like because you might want to challenge play, just challenge it.
yeah,
You're gonna lose the timeout anyways, or you'll keep
yep.
the timeout
That's
and the
that's
clock
what
will
I'm.
stop.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I think it's weird to say, but McVay was out coached.
I agree. I think Mike McDonald has, first of all, way, way outperformed anything I thought of him.
Mhm.
When he left the Ravens, I thought, man, was it him or was it just the Ravens defense has just been perennially a powerhouse? And I knew that he had the year at Michigan with fucking the other Harbaugh, and they were both talking him up like crazy. But I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, is it him or is it just that he's getting these right circumstances at the right times?
Mhm.
He is absolutely the real deal. His defense, not like fucking Denver with the sacks, but they are like one of the more creative defenses I've seen. It's like he's like somehow changing the way defense is played in the NFL, and I got to give the guy fucking massive props, man.
No, exactly. Like I think since like probably like since he won the Super Bowl, and then there were all those rumors: is McVay going to retire? This and that. I
Yeah,
think since then, McVay's coaching decisions haven't been as on point.
that's fair. Yeah, and I think I will just say because you brought that up, that is a fucking sore spot for me. That the year they won the Super Bowl, him, Stafford, and Aaron Donald all said they were going to retire. It's like, fuck you guys, dude. All right, Donald did, not right away, but he did. But it's like him and Stafford still there, however many years later. Okay,
Mhm.
fuck you for saying that you guys were going to retire, dude. Like, this is, it just, to me, it's like, it's not a game, dude. Like, it's like there's a lot of other people's livelihood at stake here. And oh, you just think that like you're in some fucking monumental fucking crazy position that you could just just cavalier. Oh, I'm gonna retire. I'm at the fucking peak. It's like, come on, man. And then 5 years later, you're still fucking grinding. Sure.
Yeah, sure, sure. You're
That
going to
just
retire.
bothered me, dude. It especially with McVay because he's so goddamn young. He is still so goddamn young.
Is he 40 yet?
Like Stafford, it's like you could have made the argument of, okay, you did have a fair amount of injuries over your career. Like if you want to be that guy going out on top, sure. You've talked about how you've had problems connecting with the younger players. It's like that's fine. But now here he is 5 years later, and it's like, so what? That was just all bullshit?
Yeah.
That was just
So
all fucking bullshit.
so McVay just turned 40.
Yeah, dude, he's got fucking 30 more years of coaching if he wants it.
Well, yeah. God, he just turned 30.
And
And
hey,
4 years
it,
ago or 5 years ago, he was.
yeah, and I mean, I get it. The guy has made life-changing money. He's won the big game. It's like, I would be totally fine with you sitting down and going through your brain and logically deciding, you know what? I'm just going to take my winnings and my accomplishments and just go live an amazing fucking life now without the stress and anxiety of having to perform anymore. And I would totally respect that. But don't go fucking nonchalantly saying you're going to retire without having gone through that exercise in your brain, which I
No,
think
exactly.
him and Stafford, they just did it that way. They piggybacked on Aaron Donald, who I believe was really thinking about retiring, which we all were like, no, out of the three of them, it's like he was the one we wanted to have stay. It's like, oh yeah,
But like with Aaron Donald, if he would have retired, I wouldn't have had that big of an issue with it. Like, I mean,
no,
he
no,
because the simple fact, like, what else in
yeah,
his
but when did
career
but when
can
did
he
he
do?
retire? The year after?
23.
Okay, so was that 2 years after?
Let me verify that. Yeah, 2 years after.
Okay. I don't know why. I thought it was the year after. And so it's like, oh, well, he was already knocking on the door in his own head, like, but yeah, it just, yeah, it just, I don't know, dude. It just fucking pisses me off with Stafford and McVay, dude. It's like,
No, it
and
it does
part of
too.
it is like we saw it with fucking Favre. And, it's just like you see these players retire and then unretire. And it's like, fine, but like don't make a huge fucking spectacle about it if you're not serious about it.
Exactly. I just noticed we have 3 minutes. So,
Okay.
any final thoughts about the games? I think then we cut it and just chill for a minute.
No, I'm good with that, man.
Any other final thoughts about this past week?
Nope. Great week. One of the most exciting playoffs I think we've had in our lifetime.
And last question: are you going to watch the Pro Bowl on Tuesday?
I think it's funny that it's on a fucking Tuesday. Um, I don't know, dude. I guess it's going to depend. It's going to depend on what I have going on Tuesday. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I know. I probably won't.
Uh, yeah, I probably am going to have something more worthwhile to do, but You know, it's sad the state of the Pro Bowl.
It is.
Wow, I just saw Davis Webb withdraws consideration from the Raiders.
Oh, the reason why I'm not going to watch the Pro Bowl is because fucking what's his name? Shador Sanders is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah, dude, I saw that. He got fucking put in as an alternate. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
At that point, just cancel the game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's garbage, dude. It's worse than the Hall of Fame shit we were talking about.
It is. Well, we've got 90 seconds, so I think call it. Those still watching, thank you. Awesome. EA, send us some money.
Peace out.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut, hut, hike.